In this digital age, I think it's really important to take advantage of what's at your fingertips. And I think TikTok is a great way for you to get your stuff out there. Have fun doing what you're doing, but you want it to be seen. And the internet is a great way for you to do that. The digital age is ever changing, ever evolving. Hence, you get stuff like TikTok. And then you gotta make them TikToks. But if you're gonna do it, again, you wanna have fun, and so I decided to do a bunch of tutorials, manga tutorials, you name it, the list goes on. And I posted them on TikTok, you guys can go check it, same name, @WhiteManga. And they all did pretty well, especially the how to draw hair tutorials. In fact, they went pretty viral for my level. A lot of them did crazy numbers, some of them did millions of views. The reposts did millions of views on like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Like the numbers on Facebook are ridiculous, numbers on Twitter are ridiculous, and these are the same TikToks. And it just made me realize there's an appetite for certain types of tutorials that we don't get too often, is beyond the traditional tutorial that you would get. Diverse hairstyles, different kinds of stuff that generally you don't see often. So it was great for me, great numbers for me. Again, viral for my level. Some of them did millions of views. Nothing too crazy like 100 million views or anything like that. Still got our fingers crossed. It gave me a little bit more exposure to stuff, and again, it's also an example for people out there, especially if you're an up and coming artist trying to get your stuff out there. Take advantage of what you have, take advantage of what's at your fingertips, and TikTok is one of those. Like, there was a period where TikTok was the thing. It might still be. So I just wanted to share the TikToks with you guys. They did well, so why not? I haven't really shared them on this channel. And I'm also taking suggestions of what to do on TikTok, because I don't really think I'm even taking enough advantage of what's at my fingertips with TikTok. I feel like I could do more. So I'm open to suggestions, and suggestions for this channel as well. If there's some of these tutorials and hair tutorials that you guys want me to do a deeper dive on, just let me know. We can bring some of that fun here to YouTube as well, because I'm trying to do more online, take advantage of what I have online with YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, list goes on. TikTok is part of that, and even Twitch. So let me know what you want to see, huh? Because of these videos, I actually got a good following on TikTok pretty quickly. If I can do it, you can do it too. And these are people who didn't know white manga stuff from anywhere else. Most of these people, like the vast majority of them, are from TikTok. In fact, most of the people who follow me everywhere is mostly male versus female. TikTok is the only place where I have way more females following than male. And again, maybe that's just the nature of the tutorials that came into play, but that also goes to show that there is like a new, fresh audience that can really feel your stuff over there. So here's some examples.
How to draw locks, tie to the top, figure out hairline and our ribbon, overall shape of how we want everything to fall behind, and then lines for the actual locks. Quick, lightly curved dashes for the texture, and lines pointing outwards for the roots if you see around the hairline. Add the edges, and then more dash lines for the parts we want shaded in, and then we're done. Voila! Miss me? How to draw tribal braids, rainbow hairline. Split the top and then into 3 thick S-curve noodles from all 3. I'm not gonna see the other side of the head, so tackle it like so. They connect behind their ear and fall into 1. Here's the braid pattern, put it on there. This step makes everything a little easier. Draw hair strand lines in their direction and leave some spots for the highlights in the hair, and then shade, and then apply again. See? More hair strand lines and then other lines pointing towards the braids. After that, you add the edges however you see fit. Then add some loose hair strands to make it look a little more realistic, and then you're done. Had some help a little bit with some reference, and voila! How to draw Bantu knots, legal. First, you want to start with the hairline. I'm doing something a little more curved. Then separate the head in whatever shapes you want, boxes, triangles. We just want to figure out where the knots are going to come from. Now for the knot, you want to think of an ice cream swirl that is thicker at the top and thinner at the bottom, or vice versa. But low-key, when it's thicker at the bottom, it kind of looks like poop. I'm just saying, figure out where they all pop out of. Obviously from this angle, for some knots, we'll see more than others. Hair strand lines from the edges, all pointing to the center. I changed the shape of the knots, and obviously I'm still going to put the lines for the little swirl. Then lines for the hair strands, leaving room for where light hits the hair. And then darken the lines for the knots, and then you do it everywhere else. After that, you add edges however you see fit, and then boom, you're done. And I don't know about y'all, but she's looking fine! Yeah! How to draw box braids, top knot. As usual, you do a rainbow hairline. We can switch it up right now, and you can have like a little point on each end, and then split just the top part. They're all separated into boxes, get it? With quick lines from each end, concentrating in the middle, and then the knot looks like so. slanted curve lines with bumps on each end. Quick hair strand lines, leaving some light sources in the middle, and then darkening the knots. Then you want to form the top knot, and I'm going to do it like so, with 2 big bumps on top of the head. Draw the braids from the boxes, hence why it's called a box braid. Get it now? Separate how you see fit. Shade appropriately, like we did with a little sample. Less light sources behind, edges, and voila! How to draw hair or space buns. I already got a line to let me know where the hairline goes. Now I'm just gonna get my Pentel pocket brush and just jump right in. I'm gonna leave some kind of space in between the middle of her head. Then I have some strokes opposing each other to mimic like highlights in the hair. Try to show a little bump where the hair is kind of spread. And then fun, unpredictable circles for the buns. Happy accidents again to show highlights hitting the hair. And then you can go with art liners to kind of show a little more realistic touch with hair strands in the highlights and then even in the edges. Light squiggles in the hair if that's what you want. You know, sometimes that exists. And then after that, you're pretty much done. And now you got buns, huh? Go.
Now with the little success of these tutorials, it gave me the opportunity and chances to create a how to draw book to include these kind of tutorials in it. So if you're a fan of those tutorials, you'll find a lot of it in our How to Draw Diverse Manga. Trust me, if you like how to draw books, especially how to draw manga books, this has all of it in there and then some. Art tips and tricks, not just from myself, but from creators all over the world, coming together to give you some secret art tips, tricks, and tutorials that will help you in your growth. Stuff in there for beginners, and even if you're a little bit of a pro, I'm sure I can find some stuff in there as well to design your own characters, how to draw in general, how to draw certain hairstyles like we just talked about, the list goes on. Anatomy, you get it. Work really hard on it, and trust me, I think it's a get. Like, from how to draw books that I've seen, I think this is pretty up there. It's available for pre-order, links in the description, go check it out. And now for the rest of the TikToks, because you start to realize there are a lot of hairstyles out there. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I did a lot more hair tutorials, but I can't post them all in here, especially with the music in the background. We ain't trying to get strikes on this channel, man. It's gotta eat, you feel me? You know? So I'm just gonna do a little narration over it. And again, open to suggestions. If there are parts of the tutorials that you want me to do a deeper dive on, we can have a separate video and have fun with that here on YouTube. Starting with probably one of the most viewed ones on TikTok is a tutorial where I teach how to draw an afro with a Q-tip. Get it? Art tip? Q-tip? Okay. You're far too kind. The Q-tip just allows for a very natural, realistic look to the afro. It's almost like downloading a digital brush, but we're not drawing digitally, we're drawing traditionally. Even had fun with a little more coloring work. Even did the same to some existing drawings, just showing how you can transition. You're very flexible if you're just working with you know, ink, and also depending on your art style and how you put things together. The Q-tip art tip. It's pretty easy to do, straightforward, and again, you know, these are some of the things that maybe I can bring to YouTube in more in-depth ways, but it's pretty straightforward as you can see. Now, there's some advice that I give that's crucial to help you really get that very natural touch. Then a lot of the tutorials also cover different kind of hairstyles like braids, locks, the list goes on, and there is an in-depth look on how to kind of get those knots, how the hairs come together, how they tie in, and how to then place it on the scalp. It's kind of a general approach that's applied throughout. Stuff on afros. This right here is a character Wilton from my other series called BACASSI. Have some waves. Similar to one of the characters in BACASSI, Damon, but not exactly. But it was also fun to draw these things and show you guys how simple and easy it was. It was, you know, kind of important to just keep things simple, just a pencil and paper, making the whole process less intimidating. Got some old school flat tops, pretty straightforward, and even some curly hair drawing tutorials. And kind of my approach of the parts of the hair to darken, parts of the hair to curl, how to place it together. But again, everything is kind of dished out in a very easy to digest way. Starting with the hairline for the most part, the shape of the part that you want the hairs to cover, and then starting to go into detail. And then sometimes go into extra detail of how you want each strand or braid or lock to be. Space buns, pretty explanatory, but again, even touching on things like highlights and where light will hit the hair to make it look a little more natural. Another example of tackling the braids first, because I think doing it this way helps drawing the braids themselves easier to digest. More examples here with the full-knee braids. And more locks. Some of these were inspired by already existing people, celebrities, or just images I found online. To be fair, sometimes I just found a hairstyle that I thought was interesting, that I felt, you know, maybe people want to learn how to draw this, and then I figure out a way to do it and share it with you guys. Senegalese twists. French braids, Dutch braids. A couple people arguing on Twitter what kind of braids it actually is. That's funny. And I even mix it up sometimes with a bowl cut. It's almost like a jellyfish on your head, and then you kind of figure out the rendering for the hairstyles and where light's gonna hit the hair, and you know, having everything come together. More twists, and that's pretty much it, at least for the hairstyles. But there were more tutorials on there, manga tutorials, videos about my book, and more. So I highly recommend you guys go check that out.
How to draw a super bald head. You draw the shape of the head first, and then next. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're done.
That's all, folks. So the 2.5 people that made it to the end of this video, thank you. Don't forget to like, Holy Ghost, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you stay notified each time I upload absolutely anything. Follow me on all my social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, the list goes on. At White Manga, pretty much everywhere. Again, get how to draw diverse manga. Links will be in the description to everything you could possibly need. My comic, Apple Black, published and serialized in Saturday AM. The pre-order for the book version that's going to be in bookstores is also in the description. I have a separate video that explains exactly what's happening with the books and how Apple Black, my manga's first 4 volumes, are coming sooner than you think. Check out more videos on the channel. It's White Manga, and I'm Audi 9000.